ladies and gentlemen. When allies begin disagreeing, questions naturally flow, right? The question is, could America's military relationship with Saudi Arabia now be entering a completely new phase or not? Now, for decades, American troops have maintained a significant presence across West Asia. Their roles have included protecting strategic interests, supporting allies, and helping secure some of the world's most important energy routes. Saudi Arabia has long been one of the key pillars of the regional security network, but today, that relationship appears to be facing new questions. According to recent reports, disagreements over the Iran crisis, it has created fresh diplomatic tension between Washington and Riyadh. Following Saudi Arabia's reported refusal to support the proposed US military operation, discussions have now emerged about whether the US could actually reconsider the size of its military presence inside the kingdom. Now, it's very important to remember that no official decision has been announced yet, but even these reports have attracted global attention. And you know why it is attracting so much attention? Because any change in America's military footprint inside Saudi Arabia, it could carry major strategic consequences. Here, American military bases, they are not simply buildings filled with soldiers. They serve as logistics center, training facility, command headquarters, and rapid response location for operations across the Gulf. So any reduction, it would naturally raise a lot of questions about future security agreements here. Military experts believe that the whole West Asia is entering a new phase. Regional countries are increasingly trying to balance relationship with multiple global powers instead of depending entirely on one partner. Saudi Arabia today maintains dialogue not only with the US but also with China, also with Russia and several other neighboring countries. This more balanced foreign policy gives Riyadh greater diplomatic flexibility. But if we see it from Washington's POV, then maintaining strong regional partnership, that remains extremely important. The Gulf continues to be one of the world's most important, strategically significant region. Contains major shipping route, important military bases, and energy infrastructure that affects economies around the globe. And that is why every diplomatic disagreement, it is carefully watched by the global planners. In fact, some experts believe that these reports simply reflect temporary differences over one particular issue. But here others believe that they may signal a much broader shift in regional politics. Only time will tell which assessment proves correct. But what is another thing that is clear is that today's West Asia, that looks very different from the one we saw just 10 years ago. In fact, countries are making more independent foreign policy decisions. Regional alliances are becoming more flexible and traditional partnerships are constantly being revalued here. For ordinary people watching these developments, the message is definitely clear. Global politics never stands still. Relationships do evolve, interests do change, and diplomacy remains just as important as military power.